Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Woo!
So, right off the bat, I've got to explain something about those little blue balls you see flying towards Meta Knight all the time. Those are called points, and we'll be collecting them throughout the run to use really awesome abilities that Meta Knight has.
Yeah, if you look on the smaller screen, there are 4 panels. Each of them represents an ability and the number of points it takes up. So the ability that Kinnan just used right now is Meta Quick, using up 8 points, and it lets you move really fast horizontally. And he's gonna want to use that as much as possible throughout the run.
Missed to go quick. You gotta go fast.
All right, first boss. Poke, poke.
So the reason why I do the dash into upstep is to work around its invincibility frames, because Wispy Woods has giant invincibility frames. It's just so long. Yeah,
most bosses have like different varying amounts of invincibility frames, so you just kind of have to come up with your own strats to work around that and find the best DPS possible.
Each attack does different damage values in general. His dash tag is going to be used a lot against bosses because it does, I think, the most. It can also potentially 2-hit if they correct it like that.
Like that.
So it's very, very good to use that.
I also want to try and get at least 24 points here. I got 26, so we are good for the next boss right here. And we're going to use this ability.
So if you play Smash, this is Meta Knight's neutral B, Mach Tornado. It uses up a whopping 30 points, but does a lot of damage, and it's our main boss killer. And in this case, it one-shots Lolo and La La La.
Then we get to fight them normally.
Yep. So this mode is kind of like in a Meta Knight exclusive mode where you're going through all the main game modes, 5 main game modes with Meta Knight, and your goal is to just pretty much go through it into all the stages.
So right now we're in Spring Breeze, after it's to be Diamond Blade. After that, Breakaway Offensive, then Revenge of Meta Knight. Just see what that entails afterwards. And then finally end off with Milky Way Wishes.
Right. So there's two other abilities that Meta Knight has. One of them is Call Helper, which uses up 2 points. He's going to use it a few times. We'll get into that when appropriate. And the last ability is Meta Heal, which takes up 10 points. You never want to use it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never.
If I use it, I will lose my honor. So I would like to not use it at all. My honor as a good Meta Nightmare Ultra speedrunner, basically.
Yeah, point routing is just really tight in general. All right, so here's King DDD. So he's going to smack King DDD a few times and then finish him with Mach Tornado.
I actually have to wait like 10 frames before doing the dash attack. Otherwise, my dash attack won't deal enough damage. It's really weird like that. And there's a lot of little things with that.
They all dance in the background.
All right, so that's Spring Breeze, I think the shortest one. This is Dino Blade, the second main game in Kirby Superstar. So
you saw like during the transition there was a little in-game timer. So after each area, there are 5. It tells you your in-game time for each section of this area, of this game in general.
All right, so right there, he just did 2 really fast jumps. Those are called mega jumps. And what he did with the mega jump, well, what he's doing here first is
there's so much to talk about.
These combo blocks, they destroy when you pause the game. They get destroyed, but the in-game timer does not go on during their destruction animation, so it saves a little bit of in-game time. As for the mega jumps, what you do is when you do a drill stab, which is his main form of ground movements, you go really fast and slow down. If you cancel the start of that animation with calling a helper, then you maintain the initial speed, and you can carry that into a jump. So it's a really neat technique to jump really far and quickly. He's going to be using it a few more times throughout the run. And that's the main use that Call Helper will have in this run. So here's the mini-boss.
You notice Kin did a little downer into this mini-boss.
Perfect.
It actually out-cancels after a certain point. You won't get the animation of him hitting the ground every single time, as long as you're high enough off the ground.
All right, use it. Another mega jump type mega jump is coming up here. This one's really cool. Oh, well, boom.
Kapow.
Kapow.
Ah, damn. I'm going to try it again.
Just try it again because it's cool.
Yes.
One more time.
Nice, there you go.
It's a really tight one.
You gotta save the frames.
Yeah. All right, this is the most exciting part of the run. It's an auto-scroller.
Probably donation during this part.
You can squeeze in a few donations here.
Yeah, totally. We had a $50 donation from Sniper Wave, who says, I just had to donate during the run of the best Amazing Mirror co-op partner. Good luck to all the runners, and let's hope for a good computer virus. Also, what is it you dislike about Cherry Kirby? I thought every Kirby was cute.
Called out.
Shade going out, wow.
Yeah, so that was a donation from the worst Katam co-op partner you can have, and he is completely wrong. Cherry Kirby is the worst color.
Oh, Katam is Kirby and an Amazing Mirror, by the way.
Yeah.
In that game, you can have like different colored Kirbys. Mega jump here, and there you go. And you can squeeze in one more donation.
Sure. We had a $15 donation from Epic PokeFan13 who says, "Hey Kinnan, glad to be watching you this year, speedrunning my all-time favorite video game. Sadly, things came up and I wasn't able to make it this year, but hopefully I can see you at another GDQ. This is a great charity event, and that's all I can really say. I hope everyone else watching enjoys this wonderful stream." Thank you.
Ooh, close one.
Oh no, that's intended.
It always looks close.
So I want to talk a little bit really quickly about the damage values that you get from each enemy. So a little bit, I guess the easy way to tell how much points you get from each enemy is if you kill an enemy that Kirby can't get power from, that's 1 point. If Kirby can't get power from it, it's 2 points. If it's a larger enemy like a giant plasma spark or like one of those giant bear things, that's 3 points. A mini boss gives you 5 points. A boss will give you 10 points.
And the mini boss only gives you 5 points if you kill its body after defeating it. And it's a trade-off because like destroying its body wastes time, but you get 5 points. All right. And grabbing those little pulley things are slower. Because Meta Knight's just fast.
There we go. Especially with Meta Quick.
You said Meta Knight is a Meta Quick boy.
All right, here's Bugsy. So most mini bosses and bosses have random patterns, so a lot of times you have to kind of adapt to what kind of pattern it gives you.
That was a little bit annoying on the movement for Bugsy. So I got a really good point count right now. Exiting this room, I'll have about 43, which is basically what I've been wanting to have here. There we go. Because I'm going to be needing a bunch of points at the end of Dynablade for some cool stuff. I'm going to grab this strawberry.
Yeah, health management is actually really tight in Meta Nightmare because there are no like maximum tomatoes or anything like that. Everything is just a small health drop, and they're very sparse through the entire game too.
Yeah, they basically changed every single invincibility candy and maximum tomato in a small health drop, and all the other small health drops they just got rid of.
Yeah, I think their intention was to make it so like it's difficult and you have to rely on meta heal if you really need to heal, which you really don't want to do in a speedrun. All right, so this is kind of a mini boss rush coming up here, which is why he has a lot of points.
And wrong strat.
Oh, no double hit, that's weird.
Yeah, if you have Meta Quick on, you don't double hit. So because I have a lot of points, I can just use a tornado on Bonkers, and that really helps out.
For the record, Bonkers has a lot more health than any other main boss in the game. So using Mach Tornado is really useful for them. Meanwhile, these Papa Rose Juniors do not have a whole lot of health in general.
And there's two of them too. So I think their health kind of scales down if there's like 2 of them for whatever reason in that situation. Oh yeah, so this mini boss is a random mini boss on the world map in Dynablade. They just kind of decided to put him in Meta Nightmare Ultra. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Yeah, kind of out of place.
This takes a while to load as well there too for some reason.
All right, so this is Dynablade, the final boss of Dynablade.
Ooh.
Ooh. There's a little quirk with the first moment you can hit Dynablade here, if Kennedy can explain that.
So usually in Mech Tornado, you need to have the sprite on the screen. But right now, there's no sprite on the screen. There's just a health bar. And for some reason with Dynablade, this works. I will deal damage to Dynablade, and it's the only time this is actually a thing.
Yeah, you also have to be careful with trying to use Mach Tornado as soon as possible, because like if you use it too early when it's not going to land, you just wasted 30 points, which really sucks.
Oh yeah, something to note there, by the way, in between games, is that there's a save button, which will actually heal you every single time. If you don't hit that, you will still have the same health going into your next game mode here. So you gotta be aware of that too.
So this is Great Cave Offensive, which is kind of like a Metroidvania minigame of Kirby in Superstar form, where you're supposed to collect treasures and stuff. But in Meta Nightmare Ultra, they removed all the treasures, replaced them with like health drops, 1-ups and stuff, and even blocked off a lot of the non-linear routes, actually. So, because the main idea is just go from start to the end, not really explore much.
Point A, point B.
Point A, point B. And we have kind of a longer... Oh, hardest mini-boss here. Bye.
See ya, Bonkers.
So if you have to land on the ground there, or else the screen won't scroll properly when you try to climb out of there. So Kinnan had to make sure he actually was on the ground before going up after that mini boss.
Perfect points.
Fatty whale. This is a very fat whale.
First main boss of Great Cave Offensive. He has 2 patterns. He has one pattern there where he just kind of rolls across the screen like that. Other one's where he jumps across the screen and just makes a giant wave. This pattern's actually slower in this mode.
It doesn't matter too much, but like this one's a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, in Kirby mode, it's actually faster.
Yeah, it's a lot better for Kirby, but not Meta Knight.
Yep.
So we're gonna skip the minecart here because minecarts are slow when you have a bunch of dash attacks you can chain together.
A lot of enemies in between sections that give you a lot of points because they give you 3 points. Those giant, the bigger enemies like that.
Yeah, get in that door.
So right here, Kinnon's actually doing a little technique called a shield drop, where in a lot of 2D Kirby games, the shoulder buttons allow you to defend, and you can actually cancel your drop animation by shielding beforehand, which saves frames.
Yeah, as you saw right there, you can even drop like straight down a ladder rather than grabbing it as well, using that.
All right, this is everyone's favorite boss, Computer Virus. So it's kind of a boss where it's kind of like an RPG format. And right here, the slime is attacking first.
That's bad luck.
It's random whether the boss attacks first or if you get to attack first. And obviously, the boss attacking first is bad.
You lose about 5 seconds every bad cycle.
Here we go.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Is he going to defend? Okay, he's just
good.
playing around.
He said nothing.
The puppet can't actually defend.
Oh, can't? Okay.
This guy right here can, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, the luck.
Okay.
I used attack. That's good.
Yeah, the worst case scenario is if they attack first and block.
That's bad. Okay.
I messed up the 1 cycle there.
If done correctly, you can get 2 hits off that at down air, like that. And then you can change that into a full kill in one cycle.
So you
It's
see
a
all
little
this
tricky.
text message? All these text, the text boxes you see right now are in Japanese, and this is the only spot in Meta Nightmare Ultra where Japanese version saves time because the in-game timer is still going on at this moment.
Yeah.
The game's kind of like, Meta Knight leveled up, his coolness factor went up by 4, his roundness went up by 4, or
His
stuff
sword
like that.
sharpness went up by 2.
It's pretty great. It's unfortunate it's in Japanese, but oh well,
Yeah.
that's life.
Yep.
A
It's
fun
faster.
fact, by the way, the reason why Japanese is faster is not because of character
Oh,
length.
longest level here. All right, done.
Hey.
Yep, developer intended skip.
Woo.
But yeah, the reason why Japanese is faster is not character length, but scroll speed. For some reason, the Japanese text scrolls faster than the English text.
In this game mode, it saves
no
a
idea
little
why.
bit of time. But in like Revenge of Midnight, for instance, it saves like a minute and a half, I think, because there's so much
yeah.
text in that.
At least
It's
a
weird.
minute. In this game mode, it saves at least 16 seconds.
That's actually quite a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, more shield drops here. And
There we go.
we're just about done, almost done with Milky Way Wishes.
Each are hard melee
Not Milky Way
players.
Wishes, Great Cave Offensive. This is Wham Bam Rock, totally not an Andross or whatever other Nintendo boss copycat it is.
So a pretty interesting detail about Tornado. The higher up you started, the shorter the animation time is. Because it ends the moment you get down. And it's actually interesting for the RTA run to try and stay up as much as possible right before using it.
Yeah, like when you're doing like a 100% speedrun, you have to go through this mode. But like since you're going by real time and 100%, there's quite a few strats that differ, especially with Mach Tornado, because Mach Tornado has a really long animation that doesn't use in-game time but uses real time. All right, so now he's finishing up Great Cave Offensive. I think this is a time for a donation, quick donation, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We had a $15 donation from Stephs, who says, I'm trying to win my brother that Spyro plushie and surprise him with it. But he's here in the audience, so surprise might be tough. Whoops.
All right. So this game is, this is the fourth of 5 games that you're going through now. It's called Meta Knight's Revenge that you're going through as Meta Knight.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be raiding Meta Knight's ship, except you're Meta Knight.
Trust me, it makes sense.
So what I like to imagine is that Meta Knight gets so pissed at his subordinates that he just goes on this murderous rampage, killing all of them. It's what I like to imagine, you know?
They failed to protect the ship from Kirby.
Right, that part usually you don't fight as Kirby.
Oh,
but
Mega
like,
Jump? There you go.
Nice. Woo! But like in Nightmare Ultra, you actually fight Heavy Lobster there for every reason.
Yeah. So Meta Nightmare Ultra, you're actually going to be fighting Heavy Lobster twice. You kind of want to get rid of your helpers immediately because they get in the way, especially when you're trying to fly around, since they grab your legs and kind of weigh you down.
It's also just annoying with the camera.
Yeah,
That's the biggest reason. I don't like the camera when there's a helper on screen. It just like slightly moves towards the helper.
camera issues in a 2D game. What?
Yeah.
Say, what?
What?
So everyone's favorite moment is coming up. It's an auto-scroller!
Woo! I love going fast.
If you got any donations, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a $100 donation here from the one, the only Edo Bean.
Edo Bean.
Edo Bean.
Hello, SGDQ peeps. Edo Beam here, waiting to give a big shout out to all my hosts that'll most likely be entertaining you guys throughout the event. At least they should be. I'm looking at you, boys. Wow! Of course, I had to donate for the first Kirby game of the week, as I am a big fan of Kirby. Sorry you can't hear it, but I'm saying Poyo right now for you. Poyo, 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 Poyo,
Poyo.
Poyo. Yes, I'm doing this on purpose for you, boys. Deal with it. Poyo and Poyo, Poyo, Poyo. Good luck, Kinnan, on your run of Meta Nightmare Ultra. Thank you so much, Edabine.
Here's Wispy Woods. Kind of the same kind of fight.
You know what's better than Wispy Woods?
Double Wispy Woods!
Wispy 2.
Wispy 2! Okay, they're technically called Twin Woods, I believe.
Yes, they are. But it doesn't matter.
So you're wondering where Wispy Woods went from Amazing Mirror? This is where he went.
I mean, we have like Wispy Stone there. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet.
Alright, so we're in an outdoor area at Meta Knight's Revenge.
It's actually Revenge of Meta Knight, but
Meta-
okay.
Get called out. So Kin's gonna do a Mach tornado on the right side of this May boss right here because once this animation is done, they're both gonna be sent to the left, which saves time and gives you points as well.
Yeah, mini bosses get sent in the opposite direction of where they're facing at you. And in this case, Meta Knight is on our far right side. So one of the bomb blocks here, the location has changed between the English and Japanese version for whatever reason.
It's like 2 blocks.
It's by 2 blocks up. No one knows why.
Also, Kin's gonna be double matching here because it's faster. You can match both A and Y at the same time to actually just rise higher in general.
Yeah, for some reason the game has like 2 jump buttons. It's actually also the case on the original SNES version, if I recall correctly.
Also, don't worry how his sword just like lights a rope on fire. Don't worry about it.
They decided to make Meta Knight OP by letting his sword solve like every puzzle, including like pounding stakes and lighting fuses.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to miss out on any fun.
It's mostly just that sometimes you need to have those abilities to even continue.
Right, so here's a kind of a short fight with a bunch of larger enemies. These aren't really mini bosses, but they're bulkier than normal enemies, but makes quick work of them. These are the enemies that give you 3 points each when you kill them. So now Kinnan's drowning in points right now.
Which I want to be.
Kin went to the right there because it actually spawns that elevator quicker. So that's why it's at the very bottom of this area in general. Like once he actually got to where the elevator is.
Yeah, nice. That's kind of a little strat to kind of tank a hit from the first cannon.
Perfect
and then
shielding.
dash through the second and third cannon really quickly. He could use Meta Quick to go through all 3 at once, but he wants to conserve his points.
That little shield trick is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, he was having some trouble with it in practice, so it's really neat that he got it here. All right. This is a really annoying boss, but he's just gonna Mach Tornado it.
So yeah, this is the main reason why I didn't meta quick earlier, is just to do this. But from this point on, my point count is kind of low, so I have to go through this room a little bit more conservatively, trying to get as many points as I can.
This one is very tricky too with all the breakable blocks because you can't just like dash back over like you usually can. And also your wings destroy them.
You're controlling Meta Knight's attacks in the air can be tricky because he has like 4 or 5 different moves he can do in the air depending on like your previous inputs and or how long you hold a button and such. The main one is the chop and thrust, I think. I forgot what it's called. But where when you slash an enemy normally, you bounce off of it, but you have to keep your sword out for like at least a half second, and then you can just kind of fall through them as you kill them. And you want to do that as much as possible because bouncing off an enemy is usually slower. You have to make sure you're not running before it either, or else you're going to do a spin slash.
Yeah.
Tight corners.
Ooh, but come on.
Elevators are difficult.
Yeah. Luckily, you can just hold up rather than having to time anything for that.
Now it's time to go to speed limit of the game with another auto-scroller.
This is a very important part of the run because this run is automatically invalidated if Kinnan does not destroy every block in this auto-scroller.
You have time for the donation, by the way.
Exactly.
All right. We have a $5 donation from Flaming Quill Lava.
Ooh, hello.
Who says, always love Superstar Ultra. Can't wait to see the fight with Galactonite. Good luck, Kinnan. Also, hey there, Shasta.
Hi, Quill.
Spoilers.
We also have a $25 donation from The Half Coordinated. Who
HCO
says-
Hype Cat!
Yeah. Who says, Meta Knight tries to be cool and mysterious, but we all know he's cute.
Especially without his mask. So yeah, Heavy Lobster defeated quite easily with Tornado. Just have to do a couple of hits. And now for some really sweet movement.
Here you go. Boop, boop, boop.
There we go.
Nice.
Hey.
You
Nice
can
points.
down thrust, which is faster, but he wants to get a lot of points on the way down, and you're committed to the same horizontal position if you try to do a down thrust in the air. And point management is, again, really important in the speedrun.
Especially nearing the end of Revenge of Meta Knight.
So he has to kind of make a little detour here to hit a switch, and then take it back up.
Fortunately, can't hit through the wall. You just barely can with your sword.
You can actually press the button with a Tornado,
Oh.
but then you're using 30 points to press a button.
That's not worth it. All right, really hard boss coming up right here.
Yeah, so...
We need some sounds for this.
Okay,
we're
GG.
good.
Good job.
I did it.
All right, so when you fight this boss normally, you have to wait for on like every two or three attack patterns, you have to wait for a laser and manipulate the laser's angle to hit the boss's core. And you have to do that several times. Obviously, that's really slow, so you just want to one-shot it. All right, this is the most high part of the run, grinding. Woo, 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 woo. This is a task drive, by the way. Good job.
So the task does that like almost everywhere to instantly get a whole lot of points, but that is the only humanly possible spot we can do it. The task is awesome, by the way. Go watch it.
Oh yeah, we're in Milky Way Wishes now. 5th game. Just realized.
Yeah, we're in Milky Wishes.
Yeah, so
We start out
this
as,
level kind of has a gimmick where every time we enter a door, the season changes. It kind of opens the closest different parts of the level. Hi, Twinwoods. So this is like the six Wispy Woods we've defeated in
I
this
think
run.
so.
I think in a 100% speedrun, you kill 12 Wispy Woods. It's that ridiculous.
Poor Wispy.
Poor Wispy.
Wouldn't it be like 13? Because
I don't know. I said
Revenge of the
like.
King. I don't know.
I don't even know.
Not enough.
We should ask Birchman. He once counted it.
So Meta Knight's kind of limited underwater because he only has one attack, which is Sword Swipe. It kind of covers it in front of him and a little bit above and below, but it's kind of awkward to angle at times, so you kind of have to be careful with it.
Especially if you have to destroy an enemy who's currently above you.
It kind of has a longer attack animation too, so you're kind of committed in your movements when you swipe for like a brief half second. So you have to kind of think about like when you're swiping if you're going to hit an enemy the next second.
Ew, come on. Little bubbles.
Too bad the bubble ability isn't in this game.
Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, those enemies that are part of Meta Knight's crew, like we just killed right there, they give you 3 points too. They're different from just your regular enemies like that.
That was a very important one-up. I'm sure you'll need it.
Yes. I do intend to like die at least 4 times.
Coming up, we have Fire Whale EX, who's a little more powerful than regular Fire Whale.
Oh, that's a good pattern, by the way. So it's kind of nice Kinnan got to show up the 2 patterns. He's not dead yet.
I hope I can one-cycle this.
I believe.
You believe?
Oh!
A sliver of health.
Yeah, so I kind of messed up the damage values there with which attack attacked him. So I got the wrong hitboxes, and because of that, I didn't deal enough damage. It's really finicky like that.
With the amount of depth there is with like the damage values, you kind of wonder why they haven't made like a super serious Kirby fighting game, honestly.
I mean,
There's
there's
kind of
Kirby
mini games.
Fighters
There
EX.
are like mini games and stuff like that, and Fighters EX, yeah.
I think because like Smash exists.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably why.
I mean, there's also like Kirby Battle Royale.
I never actually played that. I need to try it at some point.
I played
a
the
little
Triple Lux
bit.
version of it.
Triple Lux version is really fun.
It's really good.
Oh, Krakow. This is like the 3rd Krakow, I think.
This is the easiest Krakow fight in the whole run, I'd say. Well, it's pretty simple, but yeah. Krakow here is not actually an upgrade of health, like the other main bosses in this version,
okay.
in the Milky Way Wishes here.
Ooh, this is also very tight
Yes,
movement
Because
here.
of that.
Yeah.
Hot B is one of the hardest parts of the run.
So he wants to skip this cannon here because it's slower. He didn't skip it.
Hey, sometimes you gotta go slow, go fast, okay?
Yeah. And something we didn't mention, the drill stabs he's doing, they have invincibility frames for the duration of it. Nice mega jump there.
That's my favorite one, by the way.
That one's really cool. So you can time if you space your dash attacks properly, you can dash it across the lava without really losing time. That poor helper.
Poor Blade Knights.
All right, peace out.
See you, nerd.
Kin nerd.
Do
Dude,
I
that
have
Gordo
Esper on
cycle is
my account?
actually pretty tight to make, because if you're a little bit too slow, it might be like just a bit too low for you to squeeze through it.
And here I just mash A for the cannons.
If you mash A, it goes to the right every time.
All right, here's Chameleon. By the way, this Chameleon is a different color every time you fight it. This Chameleon is, this boss also is in Great Cave Offensive, but the path to fighting this boss is actually blocked off in Meta Nightmare Ultra.
Love that face.
That face is just so sad.
He's so cute, though.
So this is Cavius. I like to call it the restoration area because it gives you a whole lot of points and a little bit of health back as well, which is really nice. Unless Kawasaki does that kind of stuff. So annoying.
Just don't meta heal. It's okay.
Yeah, for here, we're just kind of going through a bunch of rooms and killing mini-bosses, so I think this is a good time for some donations.
Yeah, totally. So we had a $10 donation from Missed Something, who says, "What's up, GDQ? Longtime fan of the event, but this is the first time I've been able to catch it live. And you know, I had to donate during that Kirby run. Good luck to all runners. Also, P.S. There are many Kirbys, but Cherry Kirby is definitely the best one and also the cutest. Throwing that out there.
Aqua Kirby for the win. Aqua.
Wow. I feel hurt.
We also had a $1,500 donation
Whoa.
from Fuku46, who said, "I've watched a few GDQs over the past few years and finally managed to make it to one in person. Time for a week of watching speedruns and making friends. Good luck, everyone."
This
So, yeah.
version of Wayman Brock has more health. That's why he did a dash attack at the end there. Whereas you notice, back when you're Great Cave Offensive, you only had like 2 air slashes against him.
So in this point of the run, the point count becomes very important because we're doing somewhat of a newer strat where we do an extra Mach Tornado that we didn't used to do. So I'm trying to get as many points as I can along the way, but looking at my points, I should be good. No, I have to grind. There we go. That's the backup. If you have slightly, if you don't have enough points, you can just quickly grab there and grab a few there.
Yeah, it looks like it does not much of a detour. It's like 1 second, but when you're speedrunning this mode at the top level, every second really counts.
Yeah.
It really matters, and that's how Kinnan was able to bring the time so low.
Yeah, it's only like 17 seconds slower than my summer best right now.
Actually, wait, this is a third Heavy Lobster fight.
Yep.
Yep, this is the third one.
Yeah.
So again, right now, this is an extra Mach Tornado we didn't used to do, and because of that, my point count is really low again, and I'm gonna have to go through this section trying to get as many points as possible, and it's kind of tricky.
Oh yeah, this part is really tight to make because there's a lot of enemies in the way. There's wind blowing at you, so it's hard to control yourself, and there's also lightning blocks you need to avoid to not get zapped. Right here.
Ooh. Oh,
Nice.
That was nice.
That was really clean.
Very good room. This is the last part of Miko Wishes, by the way, Half Moon. So at the very end of this, it's going to be the end of the game mode in general.
Yeah, and again, Meta Knight Sword can pound stakes like a hammer.
Even if you're going from the right side of it.
Yep.
Trust me, it makes sense.
So I have like 14 points right now, which is somewhat on the low side, but I can fix that in the room after this one, so we're fine.
Nice.
There we go.
Not gonna zip up? Gosh. There was recently a zip found with Wing Kirby to skip this room.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet.
It's really cool.
Nice.
And now we have computer virus once
Hey,
again.
I heard you like computer viruses.
Yeah, let's put one right at the end of the run so that every run will have to, go through a gauntlet.
4 out of 4 defense.
4 out of 4. Nah,
Damn.
attack first, but wow. Nice 1 round.
There's 1 round that I missed earlier. Nice.
Right, now here's a knight.
This one you have to do it in 2 rounds, unfortunately. It's not worth the Mach Tornado him because the last enemy you have to face is worse than the Mach Tornado.
Dragon.
Now we got
250 health,
big
I think.
dragon. Yep.
250,
Yeah,
yeah.
250.
And there
Mach
we
Tornado
go.
does 190 health in this case, so.
So he barely, it's like, if he was a little bit later on that, he would not have been able to pull this
Yeah.
off. 'Cause
Yeah.
the Dragon's about to go back up.
You need to have like the enemy down on the ground for you to be able to use your tornado.
I've had before where that dragon was literally 1 frame, like, it like just went up, so like it looked like it didn't go up, and my Mach Tornado did not hit in the end. I've had that happen before, it's the worst.
All right, so this is the final boss of Meta Nightmare Ultra, which
Cool.
is
Get ready to
Meta
dance.
Knight exclusive.
This song is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
So this fight is pretty darn random, but there is a pattern he wants to look for at some point where he summons a bunch of minions. And those minions are minions he wants to defeat to get some extra points, pull off a Mach Tornado later in this run. Because he's still 8 points off from an extra Mach Tornado.
You get 3 minions in that phase for the record. That's perfect.
So he's going to have 31 points, which is exactly enough.
There's
Just
minions.
about.
These are
Minions?
really annoying minions because they tend to jump around.
Yeah, but 31 points. He wants to skip the end of the fight as much as possible because
Ooh.
there's a lot of random patterns there.
But not happy with my health.
Your health is kind of looking iffy.
That should do it.
No, that's at least 1 more hit.
That should be fine though, I think.
Hopefully it doesn't go up because you don't want him summoning minions anymore here. Nice.
Nice.
Time.
Okay, well, time.
31-36, by the way.
So yeah, we've been mentioning it a lot, but the RTA doesn't really matter for actual Meta Nightmare Ultra speedruns. We usually go for the in-game time, and we'll get to see that after this little cutscene. I like to play it out during marathon runs.
The end of
The
SGDQ.
end.
See you guys next year.
Yep, bye.
I'll miss you. Wait, didn't get to my run. What the heck?
At
There you go.
25:09, that's okay. So yeah, I would like to thank my wonderful couch for helping me out, and I would like to thank everyone in the Meta Nightmare Ultra and the Kirby community for helping me out with this wonderful run. And thank you, GDQ, for having me. Good luck to all those.